Hello and welcome to the show. We've got 3 more cars for you on Tuesday today. Kaylee is here with me, so if you hear laughing or coughing in the background, that's because either I've pronounced something wrong or she's dying from a cold. You say hello?
Hi.
I don't know if you can hear that because I don't know how well this microphone picks up stuff. Anyway, cars. Yes, up first we have a Honda Civic. This one was made by JDM only. It has got near enough 270 horsepower, weighs 2,333 pounds. So it's quite powerful, relatively light. It has the engine from a Honda Integra, and it is supercharged as well, I think, if I remember looking at the parts correctly. However, importantly, this car doesn't have race tyres. In fact, I think it has the standard tyres. And I'm just going to say now, if you're building a car that's front-wheel drive, put race tyres on it, whatever you're doing. Have that as your first upgrade, because this thing understeers so much. It is a really rather difficult car to drive. As you see here, even Stig was having some issues as he goes adventuring across the grass. It's a really quite a difficult car to drive. I mean, 270 horsepower, yes, it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but put it through some standard tyres and, yeah, it just understeers. And it's not helped by the fact that this track has got a lot of sort of medium and high-speed corners where you're on the power sort of through them, and that understeer just, yeah, drags the car off course. However, Stig did get a lap time out of it, so here we are onto the flying lap. And it is heavy on the brakes in towards Bathurst, and this is a very quick car in a straight line, I have to say. I think it's the second fastest we had, at about 127, 128. So it was very early on the brakes for that first corner. The brakes aren't as powerful as some of the cars we've had. I'm not sure what brakes there are in this thing. But yeah, as we go around the bomb section, it is possible to take that flat out. However, that is a very risky corner, taking that flat out, because of the understeer. It can easily drag it wide, and you'll find yourself in the gravel trap if you're not careful. I did a couple of times with driving this around Diabolica. It's not too bad through that section if you're sort of careful on the brakes. This is where it really struggles around the quadruple apex right-hander. This is you're sort of on the throttle, not quite flat out through this section, but it's not a good corner for understeery cars, and it's around the last corner. It's not too bad around here because this is such a very sort of long corner. It can kind of get away with a little bit of understeer around there, and then it is onto the straight, and it's a run towards the line. As I said, straight line speed is very, very good on this car. Pretty sure it's the second fastest car we've had. Next, we have got his friend's car. This is, I'm going to get your name wrong, and I apologise. Kaylee's already laughing at me because she's heard me try and pronounce this one before. It's Kukai Tandems, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that bit. Anyway, this is a Toyota MRS. It's got 216 horsepower, but only weighs 1,996 pounds, which means it is the second lightest car we've had. Low power, low weight normally means pretty quick time. It is naturally aspirated as well, this car. I have quite high hopes for this car, looking at the stats for it. So in general, the cars that have been quick around here have been the ones that weigh very, very little. And this car here is a really nice handling car as well, even if Stig did sort of touch the grass again. Yeah, this is a really, really good handling car, and it's even not that bad in a straight line. Normally, when we've had cars here, you sort of have to compromise. You can either go for straight line speed or you can go for handling, purely because you sort of run out of parts when you're building a B-class car. As a general rule around here, cars that have been built for handling have been faster. However, this MRS is actually pretty good at both. Its straight line speed is about 120, which is fairly respectable, and it is very, very good around the corners. It has got huge amounts of downforce. It is, if you push it slightly too hard, it will get a bit tail happy. However, onto the flying lap, it can be quite late on the brakes up towards the first corner, far later than it can be than the Civic. It looks very, very nice and tidy through there. It is a relatively easy car to drive as well, this MRS. It's down towards the bomb hole section, and it's easily flat out through here. It's one of the faster cars we've had through here, actually. Despite not being the most powerful, it's still about 114, I think, through this section, which is pretty respectable. I think the fastest we've had is about 116, 117 from a Civic very early on around Diabolica. And again, it's actually running a little bit wide out there over the curbs, but still looking very, very fast through here. It's up towards the quadruple apex to right-hander, and it's much easier to take this corner in the MRS than it is in the Civic. You can hold a very tight line through there, actually, as they can. And then it's towards the last corner, and it gets turned in very nicely, and you're going to run it out towards the grass, and then it is just the run to the finish. As I said, straight line speed is not too bad, despite all the drag from the humongous rear wing. It's a silly size wing and the front splittery, diffusery bit, whatever it's called. And there we go, the MRS is across the line. And then finally, we have got a 2012 Honda Civic. I think we've had most versions of the Civic now. This one has been made by Spoilt Jamie. It has got 219 horsepower, so not that much more than the MRS. However, this is one of the heaviest cars we've had at 2,700 pounds. It's very heavy actually for one of the Tudor Tuesday cars. It has, however, been made rear-wheel drive, which is quite good. We tend to prefer rear-wheel drive cars here. Front-wheel drive, if built correctly, can be very good. We had an Integra a while back actually that was very fast. If you're going to build a front-wheel drive car, put racing tyres on it. I think this one here does have racing tyres, even if it's rear-wheel drive. My sort of personal opinion would be if you're building a car, you want to lighten it and put racing tyres on. They're the first sort of upgrades you want to do. But anyway, enough about tuning advice from me, who doesn't know a huge amount. Yes, the Civic, this actually is one of my favourite cars to drive. It probably is my favourite car actually of all the cars we've had. It's so nice to drive. It's so easy to drive. There's huge amounts of grip from it. If you throw it into a corner and are stupid, it will not oversteer. You can do all sorts of things. If you use a handbrake, yeah, you will get it sideways. But yeah, it's a really huge amounts of grip in this car. Very nice to drive. However, straight line speed is horrendous, about 115 at best. It is not a quick car in a straight line. However, onto the flying lap, it can be brake very late into the first corner, mainly because of its lack of speed, and it actually has really quite impressive brakes. I'm not quite sure why this car, I guess it's because you're sort of not going quite as fast. The brakes seem very good on this thing. And it's down towards the bumhole section. It's not too bad through here, it's about 111, 112 miles an hour through there, which isn't too bad considering it doesn't really go much above 115. Up towards Diabolica now. Again, gets turned in very nicely, and is going to run. No, not going to run over the curb at all there. This is a very nice car to drive. It's very planted up towards the quadruple apex right-hander now. We can see there it can hold quite a tight line. Actually, not quite as tight as I was expecting through that section. A little bit wide, and then it's towards the final corner. Gets turned in nicely, and it's going to be a run towards the line. And yes, the straight line speed is really where this car struggles, which is a shame because it is a really nice handling car. I'm not sure whether it's to do with the amount of aero or just run out of engine parts to upgrade it with when you were building it. But there we go, that is the Civic across the line. And then it is time for the various lap times for the cars. The MRS did a very impressive lap time of 58.190, which puts it up into third and beat my Scion as well. Where did the Civic go? The Civic went 6th. There we go. I was just about to see it on the screen. With a 58.359. Again, another very good time for the Civic, despite its lack of straight line speed. And sadly, the 95 Civic is down in 16th with a 59.685, while the very good car is straight line. Around the sort of medium high-speed corners of Iberian, there is just too much understeer. But there we go. That is it for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Entries to this competition are closed if you missed the earlier videos, so we aren't taking any more submission for cars. However, in a couple of weeks' time, we will be starting a new competition. We're not quite sure how it's going to work yet, so we're not going to say anything about it. But keep your eyes, ears, whatever. Keep checking our videos, and we'll find out plenty about that competition in the coming weeks. But yes, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.